Good afternoon, everyone. This is Kathy Mason from Mason Works Marketing with a cat talking in the background um, on summer solstice in the Northern Hemisphere. And I'm so excited that David Maria offered to do a special solstice conversation and meditation for us during these amazing integration possibility times. As he explained to me that, and he'll explain to all of us why a lot of us sensitives have been feeling the energies right now and how we can use and integrate this incredible power that's available for us to use for the shift for our future. Yay! Welcome, David.
Hi, Kathy. And I got to tell everybody that I'm lucky to be here. Kathy told me what time it was going to be. 3 o'clock Mountain, 2 o'clock Pacific. I all of a sudden got one of those downloads going and had to lay down just for a second and set my alarm for 10 minutes after 2. Later than when the class was supposed to start. So she texted me and got me up just in time.
Okay.
Just barely in time to make it. But it's okay because the download was related to what is coming through.
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. Well, so we're putting you on the spot either way, but you're always getting downloads. So everyone, the reason I'm so excited about this is David. I'm in a class with David, and I want to proudly say that I've gone through it as of this Saturday 7 times, which means that I haven't hardly had any free Saturdays for the past year and something. But I've changed.
And more to come. More classes.
Your internet, I can't hear you. Oh, yeah.
More classes come.
So, but what I explained to someone this morning when I told them that each time, which seems that more and more and more and more of my programming and my resistance to showing up as who I really am is melting away with each one of these classes. So I had Saturday class, then David did a free polling class on Sunday. So I had Saturday and Sunday, and now Wednesday. Woo, 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 woo. So I may be off my rocker soon, and that's okay.
I do my best, whatever it is, to keep you just really sometimes that you have to do something with me.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm gonna put you full screen. You are lagging a little for me, so I'm gonna get off screen and hope that it's better.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Barely. It's kind of soft.
Give me just a second.
Okay, then I'll do a little song and dance. And okay.
No song and dance.
And Rochelle said, "Hey, David," and these energies have been like kryptonite. And then Bill Spady put, "Hi there, here and waiting." So he was waiting, and so, but we don't want people to be afraid of this wonderful journey that I've been on. I enthusiastically am diving as deep as I can so I can hold more light during these changing times. So I'm like, and I'm still highly functioning as I'm doing it. That's the thing you have to know, is that if you're still working at a regular job, you can have superpowers to do it instead of just sort of going along with it. Right, David? Maybe.
We're finding out.
Come on.
I do want to comment on Rochelle's comment that the energies are like kryptonite. So kryptonite is like Superman's antithesis. It renders him completely hopeless and helpless and weak.
Lose all his superpowers.
Yeah. Sometimes it lays us out. There's no question about it. Because just a little while ago, I was sound asleep until you texted me. But
well, I could have done a song and dance for the first 10 minutes, but it wouldn't have been as good as you.
So you're saying I'm a song and dance man?
No, I'm saying that I would have had to done filler. That's all. No, I don't think you are a song and dance man. In fact, that would be kind of different. After knowing you, I don't think so. But you do come up with these strange and funny, witty things that turns your head around twice. Like, who is speaking? Who is the I? Yes, Bill. He'll tell you. You do it to Bill all the time. So, and all of us go, oops, yep, we're doing it too.
That's because Bill really needs someone to ask him that question.
Well, and we all do. I mean, we're all experiencing things. Oh, and Bonnie's here, and Bonnie says, hi, good to see you. So, Bonnie, glad you're here so that you can experience some assistance during our transition during this solstice time. So are you awake enough? Do you need to put cold water in your face, or are you okay?
You didn't even give me time to do that. No.
Well, go do it. I'll talk for a while.
No, it's totally fine. I'm just laughing at myself.
Okay.
I deliberately set the clock for 10 minutes before we were going to meet.
I feel sorry for you.
And it turns out I set it for 10 minutes after we were going to meet. So no worries.
Okay. Can I put you full screen? Are you? Oh, good. And Arc Vibes here. Hi, Arc. So thanks, you guys. We're doing a special solstice integration opportunity today, right, David?
That's the plan. We'll see. Right now, I'm kind of in the zone. So,
well, you're full screen in the zone now.
I know. So, okay. Just take a moment. Just take a moment and feel inside of yourself, because I'm going to describe something. I'm going to talk a little bit about what is the solstice and what does that mean for us in terms of our place in at least this universe. I can't speak to other universes. So the solstice here occurs twice a year, but it's also part of the four quadrants of the seasons that we go through. So there's 2 equinoxes and 2 solstices. We're in the summer solstice, but in the southern half of the planet, because of the tilt that we are in relation to the sun, they're having the winter solstice. So the southern hemisphere is celebrating the longest night or the shortest day. And we're experiencing, in the northern hemisphere, we're experiencing the longest day and the shortest night. But it's almost impossible, at least for me, I can't speak for somebody else, but for me, I can't separate out the fact that this is part of a seasonal flow that we go through. So that in conjunction with the solstices, it's also the spring and the autumnal equinox. And that's part of a balance that happens in terms of a flow of the energy that we go through in this phenomenal spiral that we keep ascending through. And each point on that, those four quadrants, those four directions, there might be a culture on the planet that doesn't, in one way or another, that's unique or specific to them, that doesn't celebrate the four directions. So to go through one of those cycles is like a full year for us to be able to go through. Kathy, you're muted.
Your internet is not flowing very well.
I don't know what to tell you. If my signal looks strong.
Okay, we'll just keep trying. Okay, okie doke.
Are you hearing me? So that's just here.
Some of it.
I can turn my sound up, but then it's going to sound like I'm almost yelling.
No. What it might require is you come in and back out, come in and out, because the connection you have with StreamYard may be the problem.
Okay, give me just.
Sorry.
Give me just, no worries. Give me just 1 second.
Yeah, sorry everybody, but I really. Oh, Bill said he's strong for him. I'm sorry, you guys. Hope you'll be patient for just 1 second. Thank you, Bill, for texting me. But it was very choppy here. Can anybody else give me feedback from the Bonnie or Rochelle? Oh, okay. So Bonnie, I apologize. It might have been my internet. He'll be back in a second. I just wanted to make sure we got a good recording. Okay.
How does that sound now?
That's good. And apparently I might have been the only one that was having trouble. I'm driving and somebody else said not choppy. Yeah, you can hear him clearly. So, okay, I apologize, everyone. We'll start. Do you mind starting again?
Not at all.
Even if you do, will you start again,
please? It's my pleasure.
Sorry. I was just trying to make sure we got a good recording. So, okay.
No worries.
Take two.
That is part of your job, and as part of that, I'll bring in some light by lighting a couple of candles.
Okay. Okie dokie. Well, we're blessed either way. Thank you.
Okay. Round 2. So we are celebrating the solstice today, and I can't speak for other people, but I can't separate it out. I can't call it the summer solstice, because that's not what it feels like. Because while we here in the northern hemisphere are celebrating the summer solstice, everybody in the southern hemisphere of the planet is celebrating the winter solstice, which is the longest night or the shortest day of the year. So both have their place in the overall sequence of the flow of how we are, what our life is like, and how the energies are flowing. So for everybody that's in the southern hemisphere, not that they have to do that, but one of the most important practices is to go into those dark places inside of ourselves and look and see if there's any shadow that we need to work with that needs to come forth. And there's a lot of creation, a lot of creativity that comes out of going into those incredibly dark places. And so here in the northern hemisphere, we're in the light. We're in the maximum light that it's possible to be in. And even I can't even separate out just that we're celebrating the solstice, because it's part of a flow with the spring and the autumnal equinoxes at 3-month points during the course of the year. And I can't think of a single culture that doesn't, in one way or another, celebrate those four directions. As if you think of the directions as the equinoxes and the solstices as metaphors for the directions, I can't think of a single culture that doesn't, in one way or another, celebrate these cardinal events that happen each year. And although it takes a full year to make us, for the Earth to take a circuit around the sun, the other planets, especially the outer planets, they take much longer to go on, to make a circuit around the sun. So if you can feel the energy, and this is going to become part conversation and part meditation. So I'm going to ask you to just feel into the energies themselves that we're experiencing right now as being the solstice. But then, rather than isolating on just one cardinal point, feel the entirety of the cycle that we're in. And even though it takes a year for the Earth to make one turn through that particular cycle, the Earth itself is in our solar system and is part of the Milky Way galaxy. It takes something like 250 million of our years for the Earth and our solar system in its place in the galaxy to make a single rotation around the core of the galaxy. And the solar system has its own cardinal points that it goes through, and each one of those points is representative of an energy current. You might think of it in the same way that if you're in the ocean and you're feeling all of these various currents that are flowing around you as they create these little eddy currents, only in this case they're really large energy currents. And then just feel into what is our local galaxy, just this one galaxy. And in our local galaxy, in the Milky Way, there are untold, I have no idea how many individual stars with planets going around them that there are contained within our galaxy. Whatever it is, it's a very large number, and each one of those stars with their solar systems, with their planets, those create more eddies. And that's part of the energetic alignment that we're in, is that this is the energetic soup, if you will. This is the container that our planet here on Earth and our bodies here on the Earth, this is part of the energy field that we all work in. And that's just one out of the trillions and trillions and trillions of galaxies that we, with our very beginning entries into technology that can reach out into the depths of space and perceive. Every instrument that we make that's a new instrument, we discover that it's even vaster than we thought it was, sometimes quantumly vaster. as the Hawaiian word laniakena, which is endless heaven. And one of the things that has been discovered with that is that these trillions and trillions of galaxies, some of them form superclusters of other galaxies, and they all have their own energy currents. They have their own systems, just like we have, that go through these seasonal rotations. And as it turns out, at least to current science, all of the galaxies, all of the solar systems, all of the planets, they're all being inextricably drawn into a section of space that we know nothing about it. So they've named it the Great Attractor. So if you can feel back into what that is, what that's like again, and imagine that our Earth is like a wheel, and it's a wheel within an immense clock. And I'm only using a clock because it's an analogy that everybody uses. More like an old style clock where you can open it up and there's a lot of gears inside of it. Instead of gears, maybe it's wheels. But as we go through our rotations, every now and then, what happens is that the wheels that are generated by each individual inside on the Earth, and in conjunction with the Earth, they all line up together. And then sometimes they line up with our solar system perfectly. And other times, all of the various solar systems within our galaxy, all of the wheels within it, and all of the wheel of the galaxy itself, they all line up, and they line up to other galaxies throughout our universe, to where all of a sudden everything just begins to mesh perfectly, and the energy flow coming through is phenomenal. And we are presented with unbelievable opportunities inside of ourselves to let go, to release, to surrender. And for me, the entire energy of everything combined is this incredible joy, which is just another word for love. Or at least it is to me. And what ties it all together is that we're here on Earth celebrating one portion of an alignment of the four cardinal directions of the equinoxes and the solstices. And we're focusing on the solstice, which is the time of the greatest light, and knowing that things are kind of naturally, organically broken into those four very important components. How many chambers do our hearts have? All of our hearts have four chambers, and each one of those chambers is representative or emblematic of the journeys that we take. It's emblematic of the change in the seasons and new opportunities that are available to us. So really and truly, it ceases to be a metaphor when it comes into our hearts, that our hearts are lined up with our planet. Our hearts are lined up with our sun, Sol. Our hearts are lined up with all of the other solar systems and planets, in the thousands and thousands and thousands of them that are in our galaxy, and that our hearts are lined up with the very central core of our galaxy itself, with the phenomenal being Alcyon, who is present at the very center, at the great central sun of our galaxy, and with all of the universe. There is nothing that our hearts are not in alignment with when we surrender to the all. And it now becomes the one that is, shall we say, leading us all to wherever it is that we're going, if that's any place, I don't know, on this phenomenal journey that we're on. And in the exact same way, some of you may have heard me say this before, and it's not an original idea from me, but in the same way that our hearts beat in a rhythm, and what is it that our hearts do? Blood flows back into the chamber through the venous system, and then gets pumped into another chamber, which is then pumped up to our lungs to be able to receive the breath that we are. And then it gets pumped back into the fourth chamber, and it circulates through the entire body. For me, that's a perfect analogy for how, and it's actually a real analogy, of how the energy flows through the entire universe, through all of the galaxies, through all of creation, no matter how big or how small it is, and flows all the way down to us. And then through our breath, we circulate it. We circulate it through ourselves. And as we breathe, every time we exhale, it is an act of surrendering. Every time that we exhale, we are releasing something. It may not be conscious, it may be very small, but we are releasing. We're not just, emitting carbon dioxide through our breath and letting go of it. It's actually one of the engines that drives creation. Because you breathe, literally because you breathe, the tides in the ocean rise and fall. Literally because you breathe, creation continues to come into existence and evolve in each and every single moment. And it's different in each moment. We can't go back to the previous moment. It doesn't exist. And gradually we learn how to very gracefully, hopefully, sometimes not so gracefully, we learn how to surrender the past and let go of it completely. And it no longer has any relevance to us, not even as memories. Those of you that know me, I used to joke about being in the present moment instead of turning around and looking back, like there's something back there in my past that is still fond, and maybe I have still a little bit of an attraction or an attachment to it, whatever it might be. And my joke was always off of the Sodom and Gomorrah story, where Lot and his wife were being asked to leave because the city's going to be destroyed, and they're told that don't turn around, don't look back. If you do, you'll be turned to salt. And I used to joke, and I've done this many times. Well, one could always use a little salt, and I don't need any more salt. I'm sorry. I've had plenty of salt in my life. I don't need to look back there anymore. And none of us do, because it doesn't exist. There's only this moment. There's only this moment that we live in right now. Whatever may have been in your past, it literally does not exist. And your breath is the connection to the entirety of all of the energy flow in the universe. Your breath is the connection to your heart, pumping that energy through your energy fields as a receptor to hold it and help bring you into this current moment and bring you in there on a regular basis. And I know that that's a journey for many of you. It was a journey for me for a long time. I used to tell stories about one of my good friends that jumped off the edge of the cliff into the void and never once looked back. Never once. That wasn't me, but it definitely gave me hope to know that just because there's one person on the planet that I knew that jumped and didn't look back, that would still be available to me, and that just having this conversation, it shows me that moment has arrived. There's no need to look back anymore. So that is my meditation / discussion solstice gift. It is my deep prayer that you felt or that you continue to feel what it's like as those larger cosmic cycles of creation, as they line up. And it doesn't really matter if everything is lining up in the universe cosmically right now or astrologically. It doesn't matter, because as you do the inner work, those alignments happen, irregardless of whether or not they are actually happening through our ability as astronomers to be able to look out into the cosmos and see if those cycles are lining up. These are cycles that happen inside of us, and they happen through the connection that we have with our heart, because that is the very center connection that connects us to all of creation, including the Creator itself. So I know this might have been a little shorter than what I was thinking and this earlier this morning, or what Kathy was thinking, but it is my deep prayer that you felt that cycle turning within yourself, that those wheels within wheels within wheels within wheels, starting with your heart, moving out and finding that as those wheels moved and as they shift and as they align, that they come into a perfect alignment inside of yourself. And all of a sudden, the door opens, even if it's just for a second, and you know and remember who you are, even if it's just for a second. That quickening, no matter how small it is, that quickening will carry you, and it will lead you where it is that you need to be. It will lead you into your destiny, whether it's a really big and grandiose destiny or whether it's just a very small one. It does not matter, because there is no difference in large and small. None whatsoever. I can't speak for other people, but for me, oftentimes the very, very smallest things that happened in my life turn out to be the biggest and are the most impactful. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
So we're not doing a meditation?
We just did it.
But not really.
Were you paying attention?
Yes.
Were you feeling?
Yes, well, it was a, yeah. Okay. Well, I wasn't lying down like normal. That's all.
Well, my question
Okay.
is that I can do this as a meditative journey rather than as a description / journey / meditation all combined into one. That's why I was asking, were you feeling?
Why don't we have the audience help me out here? Does anyone in the audience? There's quite a few people on. Would you like a short meditation like I do?
Kathy's trying to influence what
That's what I want. No, I'm not. If they don't be scared, Kat, to say what you want. That's all. Oh, Bonnie, sure, I would like that.
Who said that?
So too. Okay, who else is on here? Help me out here. Thank you, Bonnie.
It's all right.
Or else everyone else was knocked out. And there's 10 or more people that could answer right now.
Well, then let's.
Garage door shut in part now. Sure. Bill says yes. Oric 5 said yes. So I'm not. Okay, so 4 of us.
Well,
how many do we have to
get? Okay. Let's do this as an actual meditation.
So give everyone a chance to get in position, right?
Okay, everybody. So make yourself comfortable.
Yay, thank you.
And that doesn't even mean sit up or sit up straight. You can sit up straight if you wish. That's fine. But just make yourself comfortable. If you're laying down, try not to go to sleep. And if you go to sleep, that's okay too. There is no right or wrong way to do this, and you can't do it incorrectly. So let's begin then by just coming into your body. And for those of you that might be somewhat of a new experience, most people aren't really in their bodies. They may be close, but they're not really in their bodies. So just begin to come into your body and then feel the energy in your close aura, just the close one right around your body, however big it is. And just begin to take that energy and condense it and contract it. And as you come into your body, and I mean all the way down to your toes, come all the way into your body and ground that energy at your root. Knowing that most men and women ground in different places in the body. Whatever it is, come all the way into your body. All the way down to the last little atom at the very end of your little tiny toenail. And when you're all the way in, just to help with your alignment and your grounding, send a beam of light from your root down into the center of the earth and connect it to the crystal core that's there. And then bring another one back up and connect it to the root from that crystal core so that you're fully in your body and connected to the earth. And being fully in the body means that you are present in this moment. And once you're fully grounded and connected, then come into your heart, become aware of your heart, become aware of both the physical and the energetic component of your heart. Become aware of the cycle of how your blood moves through your heart. Become aware of how connected it is to your breath. Because it's not just connected, they are actually two aspects of the same thing. And so just take some nice deep breaths and feel how the energy of your breath as you take it into your lungs, that it is given to your hearts as it passes through the 4 separate chambers of your heart, and how the blood circulates your breath through the entire body. And how your heart literally helps every cell in your body to breathe, to both inhale and exhale. And then begin to feel how those 4 chambers of your heart, those 4 cycles of your heart, are connected to the 4 cardinal points of the earth as she makes her journey around the sun. And 2 of those quadrants in your heart will be analogous to the solstices, and 2 will be analogous to the equinoxes. And feel how there is no difference between the cycle that happens in your heart many, many times a minute and the cycle that the earth goes through on a larger scale. Even though your heart may go through this sequence 70 plus times a minute, the earth goes through that same cycle once every year. And then expand it even more. Now become aware of the entirety of our solar system and all of the various planets, all of the various planetary bodies that are here. Venus and Mercury are much closer to the sun, so they have very shorter cycles. And the outer planets, those cycles sometimes extend into multiple years. And each one of those cycles is a wheel that aligns with other wheels, the wheels that the other planets, all the planets generate, and they all interact together. And as those wheels rotate, including the earth, including your heart, as those wheels go through their cycles, they all interact with each other. And there is an energetic flow that if you follow astrology at all, and no one's ever going to confuse me with being an astrologer, but if you follow astrology, you understand how the movements of the stars change the energy field or impact or interact the energy field of us here in our hearts on the earth. And then grow that even larger to where now cosmically we are looking at our local galaxy, the Milky Way or Alcyon, filled with trillions of star systems, with an equal number of trillions of planets going around them, and each one of them are generating their own energy fields that are circulating of wheels within wheels within wheels within wheels, much like a very, very cosmic clock. And all of these wheels, all of these gears are connected to and interacting with each other. And a movement of one has an influence and an interaction with every other one. And now go even bigger, go step outside of this local galaxy, which is just one of trillions and trillions and trillions of galaxies in our universe, many of whom we have no idea that are even there because we have no ability to perceive them except through inner journeying, which of course, if you journey inwardly and you travel, you know that things are way more extensive than what we can currently perceive. Now, instead of just a few trillion, now we're talking quintillion, whatever the number would be, of galaxies that have trillions of solar systems within them, all of them rotating, all of them cycling, all of them flowing on the in-breath and the out-breath of God, all of them carrying that energy, and the motion that they go through is more wheels within wheels within wheels, more cycles within cycles within cycles. And it appears to be infinite, that there is no end. And because there's no end, there's no beginning either. It just is. And now begin to feel how in the grand cosmology of our universes, all of the wheels in all of the galaxies, in all of the solar systems, and all of the planets within all of the galaxies, they begin to line up with each other. And as they begin to line up with each other, instead of a small stream of energy flowing through them, it begins to become a large river. And that river continues to expand until it is this immense ocean of creation, this immense ocean of unity that exists once we let go of ourselves and our self-importance. And back here in our hearts begin to resonate with that greater cosmological flow and alignment. And our hearts begin to align with the earth. And the small stream that we have, that we carry, begins to align with the greater stream that the earth carries, begins to align with the greater stream of our solar system and with the greater stream of our galaxy, until we merge with cosmologically with the stream, the flow of everything, which is this immense ocean of creation. And when those alignments open, when they open for each one of us, and it's different for each one of us because each one of us is unique. Each one of us carries a unique frequency or fractal of the Creator. As those alignments open and we step into the vast ocean just of creation in our local universe, and this is just one of an infinite number of universes. Just this one universe. As we align ourselves with all of the energy flowing in throughout all of this creation, the stillness and the silence become so overwhelming. Only at first does it feel overwhelming. As most of us have never experienced silence to this depth, to where there literally is no sound. It's very peaceful here. And as you align to this peace, as you align to the stillness, and you let that energy flow through you, you become that peace. And it flows through every cell of your body, and you become it to such a degree that wherever you go, whatever you do, or whatever you not do, you share that peace with everybody that you meet, that you encounter. Going deeper into that silence. Going beyond any beyond that you can imagine. Surrendering yourself. The deeper you go, that silence, that stillness becomes like a funnel. And that funnel directs you to the very source of all creation, which is God, which is the Creator or source. Doesn't matter what the word you want to use. Any word you use is just a very small attempt to describe something that is completely ineffable and cannot be put into words. But when you connect with it, it's unmistakable in your life. And just allow yourself in this moment, allow yourself to sit in this silence, in this stillness. There is no doing. There's only being when you're here. Doingness may arise from this silence, from this stillness. But for right now, just allow yourself to sit in this silence, in this unbelievably deep stillness in which there is no sound. And while you're here, you can completely let go. You can surrender everything that you're carrying, no matter what it is. You can surrender it here. Just let it flow out of you and off of you through your out-breath. And as you continue to sit in this silence, notice that you are not breathing. There is no breath here. Here there's only stillness. There's no movement. For just these few moments, there is no movement. Movement will arise when it does. And yet when you come here, for the few moments that you're here, however long that is, you can let go. You can completely surrender to Source and let Source flow through you, over you, and through you as you. For there is no separation here, none whatsoever. You may notice that breathing begins again. And you may also notice that your breathing is in perfect harmony with the inflow and the outflow of creation, with the infinite loop, with you sitting in the center of it. And as your breathing begins again, you begin to flow down through all of those alignments that you created, all of those wheels within wheels within wheels that lined up with each other perfectly to allow you to come into this space. You're the ones that created that alignment. And it allows you to flow back into our local galaxy instead of the universe at large. And it allows you to flow across our galaxy and return to our local solar system. And to flow back to our Earth, this beautiful, phenomenal planet. And to return to your body and to return to your heart, to the very center of it. And notice that the center of your heart also is that same stillness. There is no difference between the stillness in your heart and the stillness that you experienced in the grand cosmological piece of our universe. It's only one scale. And now you have another way of comprehending or understanding, as above, so below, as within, so without, that there is no difference at a microcosmic level or a macrocosmic level. It is all the same energy flow in creation. And then you can come fully back into your body. And when you're ready, and only when you're ready, for there's never any hurry to return from these journeys. But when you're ready, then you can open your eyes and discover that you're still here and now in this moment, and you never left this moment. When you do come fully back, be sure and drink lots of extra water. Lots of extra water. And of course, depending upon where you are or when you are, and how cold it might be or might not be, or how appropriate, be outside on the earth and walk barefoot if you can. It very much helps to ground the energies from when you journey like that, to fully come back into the body.
Bonnie said, thank you. That was beautiful. I say ditto. Perfect. Thank you.
Those of you that know me know that I say a lot. I have no idea what's ever going to come out of my mouth. I had no idea. I was quite happy. I was very happy to just describe the journey. I didn't know this was coming.
Well,
thank you for being insistent.
Oh, it's beautiful. And it's recorded here on Facebook if you can find it, but it's also on my YouTube channel. I'll put that link in so you can find it and share it there. Work vibe, put awesome. Yeah. I don't think she's gotten to hear you before. She has a wonderful show too. And a Facebook user, whoever it is, says thank you with a bunch of hearts. Thank you, whoever that is. And so happy you decided to do a meditation.
So am I, Bonnie.
Yeah. So hopefully that will help all of us integrate and have less resistance to the higher frequencies and be attuned.
And they are definitely, everything seems to have lined up. Even if it's just momentarily, for the solstice. And even though the solstice splits it into the greatest light and the greatest dark, there's still a beautiful balance in there.
Yep.
And it doesn't really matter if you wish to focus on one of them temporarily or the other. Both will bring, entry into both of them will bring great gifts forward.
And the reason I was so happy you did a meditation is for those people that are sensitive, they can feel the expanded essence and reconnect to who they are when you're in meditation with David. The field that when his human gets out of the way and his
quirkiness slows down.
His quirkiness gets out of the way and his true essence comes through. It's quite a gift. So hopefully you got a taste of it and experienced the love that you are to a deeper level so that you'll be able to enjoy the ride.
And please remember to keep your hands and feet inside the ride at all times.
How did I know you were going to say
and if an oxygen mask drops down, put yours on first.
Anyway, well, thank you all for coming. Have a wonderful rest of your week, rest of your month. Know that there's 6 more months. We're halfway through the year, and that this is a great opportunity to shine your light very bright and create something beautiful in the world together.
Thank you, my friends. Thank you all for being here. Many, 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 many blessings. And have fun.
Yes.
For goodness sakes, have some fun.
Okay. Profound thanks to you. Profoundest. Oh my goodness. Profoundest thanks to you both. Thanks, Bill. Thank you.
That's a statement filled with profundity, Bill.
Yes, it is. Well, profound would have been good, but profoundest is even better. My goodness. Okay, well, we'll sign off and let you guys integrate. Drink plenty of water. Go hug a tree if you need to get grounded. That's what I end up doing almost after every time. And please let us know. As I said, this will be easiest to find on YouTube. And please let us know if you want to know more information about how you could work with David during these changing times. It's quite remarkable. It's a very wonderful transformation path.
Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you, buddy.
Thank you all for coming and joining. I know it was really short notice, but thank you all for coming.
Yep, it's all in perfection. Okay. Talk to you later, David. Thank you. Yeah, thank you for letting me push at you. Again.
I'm used to it.
Yeah, now you're getting that way.